Hello guys, this is Alex Asmacher from We Talk UAV. It's been now almost 3 weeks since we started this amazing YouTube journey, and we've seen that you have made us a lot of questions. And it's not that we don't read them, we've been just putting them all together until now to make this video and answer some of them. So this is our first video of FAQ. Let's go! We've received questions on our videos, on Facebook, and even some of you have asked us via email. So what we've done here is to pick questions out of all the questions you made us, as we thought they were really interesting, and not only for you, also for us. It's been enhancing our drone knowledge. But no more talking, let me go straight to the first question. The first question is, can the Phantom 4 Pro version with the RC screen, the Phantom 4 Pro Plus version, run third-party apps? And the answer is very simple. No, it can't. When you turn on this controller and the screen turns on, you'll be only able to see that one app that controls the whole drone. You can't even close that app, you can't go to another app, you can't do anything apart from being inside that app. So the question is pretty simple. No, you can't run any third-party apps. Jason Lateral asked us on Facebook, and actually we had the same question a couple of times on our videos, and it's about the new 3D TOF sensors, the lateral sensors of the new Phantom 4 Pro. People are kind of complaining how they actually really work. And the question is very simple. They only work in tripod mode or in beginner mode. And a lot of people are complaining about this. Why only in those modes? Well, for that the comparison is easy. For example, think about a car with all those sensors. Those sensors are only working when you are, for example, parking the car. So it's in very specific situations that these sensors have to be working on. So actually the purpose on those lateral sensors is to avoid crashing, especially when you're flying indoors with some very narrow spaces and walls surrounding you, just in some specific cases only. Also, a couple of questions we've received are regarding the new Smart RTH function. So here to say that the new Smart Return Home, it actually forms a map of its environmental in real time. This actually means that the drone will choose the best flight path to return home and sense as far as 300 meters to avoid obstacles. So actually the good thing here is if your RC loses the signal of your drone, the drone will automatically do the same path back, and it will retrace its original path to regain its connection after just 1 minute. The good thing is, if this drone is flying back, as it has the new sensors for obstacle avoidance, it will avoid crashing into trees or mountains or whatever. Of course, no matter which RTH altitude you chose, as you all know that the minimum altitude for the RTH is 20 meters. So let's go to the next question. The question says, will the Phantom 4 Pro stop landing if it's landing above the water? Very interesting question, as there's been a lot of discussion too. Yes, it will avoid landing in auto land mode or in RTH mode. However, it will not stop in a few cases. First, if you have already reached critical battery level, which is, I believe, below 10% of battery, or for example, if there is a storm and there are some heavy waves, probably the sensors won't be able to understand that surface and it won't stop from landing. Let's go to the next question. Can the Phantom 4 batteries be used also on the Phantom 4 Pro? And if you've seen the review I made last week, the answer is yes. The only difference is on the autonomy of both batteries, as the new Phantom 4 Pro batteries are supposed to be reaching up to 30 minutes of flight time. Let's go to the next question. Cowboy Doug, I was there too, asked us on YouTube how the live streaming works. And the answer is pretty simple. You can, with this Phantom 4 Pro controller with a built-in screen, you can stream live on Facebook and on YouTube. However, it seems that you'll be needing a Wi-Fi connection for that purpose. And the next question, Bobster986 is asking us if the tablet is removable, if this screen is removable from the controller. And the answer is no. As you've seen also on the first question, there are no other apps working and there is no possible human way, of course if you crash that for sure, but there is no way you can actually take this screen off the controller. So the bad thing here is if you do have some problems with the screen, you'll have to send the whole controller back to DJI in order for them to fix that. For the next question, Sam Salih, also on YouTube, asked us, he heard that there was a built-in mic and if we could talk a little bit more about that. And it's true, I mentioned it when we were doing the Phantom 4 Pro review, and if you do research a little bit, you won't have a lot of information about this But as far as we know, the microphone is built here on the controller next to the speaker, and this will allow you to speak while you're actually streaming. So this will add some kind of comments, and this will enhance your streaming probably a lot, showing the people what you're actually doing, panning the camera or whatever. And also one question on YouTube from Lander Van Niesen. He made a pretty long comment. He asked us, on the Pro version, on the Pro Plus version with the built-in screen, there's an HDMI port and 2 USB ports on the controller. Can you plug in an iPad or iPhone besides the installed screen? So you have 2 screens. What do you see on the second screen? And actually, you only have, of course, 1 HDMI port and you only have 1 USB port. Actually, the HDMI port, I had to test it myself because I didn't really know and I couldn't find anyone testing it before. I've tested it on my Samsung TV. So if you're putting an HDMI cable from the controller to the TV, what you're actually gonna see on the TV, as you will see on this picture, is exactly the same thing that you're seeing on your built-in screen. This is really good, especially if you're, for example, filming with a team and you want just 3 or 4 people. If you're doing a big production or something like that, you can set up a screen next to you with an HDMI cable and they will actually see exactly the same thing you'll be seeing on your built-in screen. And the second thing you asked about the iPhone or iPad, if you connect via USB an external smartphone or tablet, you won't be able to see anything, as there won't be any kind of connection or data transmission. Oh, and not to forget, when I was testing it, I saw that you can actually set up within a range of resolutions on the screen. You can set up the kind of resolution you want to have from the built-in screen to the second screen. Starting at Full HD 60 frames, you can go down to 50, 30 and 25. And the lowest possible resolution was 720 and 480 60 frames. The next question is, what is the advantage using the new H.265 video format? Well, on the Phantom 4 Pro review, I explained exactly how the new codec works. Just summing up, the H.265 codec retains 50% more of content. This means that you'll have more vivid images, you'll have a higher dynamic range, and of course the final video output will have way more quality than on the H.264. However, you have to be especially careful here, because a lot of software won't be able to open that H.265 format. I had the same problem the first time I was filming with the P4 Pro. You just have to somehow reconvert the format into H.264 if you're not able, or if you don't have the software for this. So my recommendation here is be very careful, check if your computer is able to open or edit H.265 on Premiere, Final Cut or the software that you're using, because there's the risk that you fly and do a lot of footage and then you can't really open it and you have to reconvert it into H.264 and lose that H.265 quality. So you should be checking on that for sure before using the format. Another question is there any difference between the front and the rear obstacle sensing system? Well, as I mentioned also on the review, both front and rear sensor systems are exactly the same. They work the same way, they detect objects the same way, so there is no difference at all. Next question says, are the Phantom 4 and the Phantom 4 Pro remote controllers compatible with each other? I understand that question is if you can use a Phantom 4 controller on the Phantom 4 Pro drone. And the answer is no. Among other reasons is because the new Phantom 4 Pro is using different frequency bands where the Phantom 4 controller is not able to work on. So the answer is no. Phantom 4 Pro controller will only work with a Phantom 4 Pro drone and vice versa. Let's go to the next question. Oh, and it's actually the last one. Can I use the Phantom 4 propellers on the Phantom 4 Pro? Yes. They don't have changed at all. Those are the same propellers, so you'll be able to use your old Phantom 4 propellers. Well guys, these are all the questions for today. This is something new we're doing. Let us know if you thought the questions were helpful, and don't hesitate to ask us anything on the comments or on Facebook. We'll be doing these videos if you thought this was interesting, and let us know any doubt you have or anything. Like the video if you thought it was helpful. You can subscribe. Keep calm and let's talk UAV.